When your dog lies down beside you, settles their weight against your leg, and lets out that long, slow sigh. Do you know what that actually means? You probably thought it was nothing, just breathing, just settling in. But that sigh carries more emotional weight than most words humans ever speak, and neuroscience has an answer most owners have never heard. There is one specific type of sigh, the one they do right before they fall asleep pressed against you, that reveals something about your bond that might change how you see every quiet evening together. If you have been ignoring it, you have been missing one of the most honest things your dog ever tells you. Have you ever watched your dog take that long exhale and thought, they're just tired? Most people do. Most people hear that sound every single day and file it under nothing. But Dr. Stanley Coren at the University of British Columbia spent years cataloging canine vocalizations, and what he found changes everything about how we hear our dogs. Dogs produce over 15 distinct non-bark sounds, each tied to a specific emotional state. The sigh ranks among the most emotionally loaded of all of them. And what makes the sigh different from a bark, a whine, or a growl? It is involuntary. Your dog cannot fake a sigh. They cannot perform one on command. It bypasses conscious control entirely. That nothing sound is the most revealing signal in your dog's entire communication system. And what makes it even more fascinating? It is controlled by a nerve you have probably never heard of, one that connects directly to their heart. There is a nerve that runs from your dog's brainstem down through their chest, all the way to their gut. It is called the vagus nerve, and it controls the border between stress and safety. Stephen Porges at the University of Illinois developed what is known as polyvagal theory, and it explains exactly why your dog sighs. When a dog feels genuinely safe, the vagus nerve triggers the parasympathetic response, the rest and digest system. The body shifts from vigilance to calm. The sigh is the audible signature of that shift. Researchers at the University of Bern confirmed this. Reamer and colleagues measured parasympathetic markers in dogs recovering from stress and found that the deep exhalation consistently appeared at the exact moment the nervous system switched from alert to settled. The moment their body decides, I can let go. When your Cavalier King Charles Spaniel sighs, their nervous system is literally standing down. But not all sighs carry the same message. There are 3 distinct types, and one of them is actually a warning. Researchers at the University of Lincoln, Mills and colleagues, categorized canine vocalizations and found that the sigh is not one signal. It is 3. The first, eyes half closed, body relaxed against you. That is contentment, pure, unfiltered satisfaction. This is exactly where I want to be. The second, eyes wide open, often after staring at a door or a leash. That is frustration, an unmet expectation, something they wanted that did not happen. The third is the one that should stop you. Head lowered, a slow deflation. That is resignation. They have stopped asking for something they needed. Work done at the Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest, Andix and colleagues, 2016, showed that canine brains process positive and negative emotional states through distinct neural pathways. The resignation sigh fires the same circuits as social disappointment. They stopped asking. If your dog has been doing that third sigh, pay attention. They gave up on something, and it might have been something that mattered. That quiet sigh your dog releases when they settle beside you. It is one of the most honest signals they have, but it is just one. Your dog speaks in dozens of silent signals every single day. Most owners catch 2 or 3 of them. That is exactly why I wrote an entire chapter on this. Chapter 4, The Silent I Love You. Inside my guide, The Secret Language of Dogs. Sighs, leans, sleep positions, the full vocabulary of silent devotion. You can grab it instantly through the link in the pinned comment. Now, about that trust factor. Because your dog does not sigh like this around just anyone. Dr. Anna Kiss at the Hungarian Academy of Sciences studied canine attachment by measuring heart rate variability across different social contexts. What she found was striking. Dogs exhibit distinct physiological relaxation, the kind that produces the deep settling sigh, only in the presence of their primary attachment figure, not the person who feeds them most, not the person who walks them, the person they have bonded to most deeply. If your Cavalier walks across the room, lies down beside you, and nobody else, and sighs, they have chosen you as the one being who makes their nervous system fully stand down. That is not affection. That is biological surrender. Here is something researchers did not expect. When they recorded dogs sighing in shelters compared to homes, the shelter dogs barely sighed at all. Not because they were not tired, because they had no one to sigh for. The sigh is not just about relaxation. It requires an audience, a specific audience. Your dog's sigh is, in a way, a performance of trust. They need you there to do it. But what happens in your body when you hear that sigh? That is where the science gets strange. Dr. Takefumi Kikusui and Nagasawa and colleagues at Azabu University in Japan published a study in Science in 2015 that changed how we understand the bond between dogs and humans. They proved that mutual gaze between a dog and their owner triggers an oxytocin loop, the same bonding hormone that connects mothers to their infants. But the loop is not limited to eye contact. Researchers at the University of Helsinki, Salonen and colleagues 2024, found that soft canine vocalizations, including sighs, activate parasympathetic mirroring in the human nervous system. When your dog sighs beside you, your blood pressure drops, your heart rate slows, your cortisol falls. They are not just telling you they feel safe, they are making you safer. The sigh is a two-way bridge, and this loop begins building from the very first weeks together. But puppies do not sigh the way adult dogs do, and the reason tells you something critical about how trust is built. Puppies breathe fast, short, rapid exhalations, restless little bursts. But the deep, sustained, settling sigh? That does not come standard. Dr. Mark Bakoff at the University of Colorado studied emotional development in domestic dogs and found that the full trust sigh develops between 6 and 10 months, the same window when attachment to a primary person consolidates. Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University confirmed this with fMRI data. Reward center activation in response to owner scent intensifies with accumulated experience, not just familiarity, but earned trust built through repeated consistency. Your dog was not born knowing how to sigh like that. They learned it. Over weeks and months of you being consistent, being present, being the person who came back every time. That sigh took them their whole life with you to make. Rescue dog owners know this more than anyone. Some rescues take a full year before they produce that first deep sigh, and when it happens, the owner knows exactly what it means. The same dog sighs differently depending on where they are. A sigh from across the room is not the same as a sigh pressed against your body. The Mayo Clinic conducted a co-sleeping study that measured cortisol levels in dogs during rest. Dogs in direct physical contact with their owners showed the lowest nocturnal cortisol and the highest parasympathetic tone of any group. Dr. Anna Kiss found matching data. Proximity directly modulates the depth of the relaxation response. When your Cavalier King Charles Spaniel walks across the room, presses their body against you, and then sighs, they did not just relax. They chose to relax against you. The location is the message. You are the place where I can finally let go. But there is something every owner needs to hear. Because when this sigh disappears, it means something you cannot afford to miss. If your dog used to sigh beside you every evening and now they do not, stop and pay attention. Researchers at the University of Bern, Reamer and colleagues studied parasympathetic suppression in dogs experiencing chronic pain and found that dogs with undiagnosed arthritis showed a 70% reduction in relaxation vocalizations. The sigh was one of the first things to vanish. It could be pain they are hiding. Dogs are masters at concealing discomfort. It could be anxiety from a change in the household you have not noticed, a new schedule, a new tension, something shifted, and in older dogs, it could be the earliest whisper of cognitive decline. One of the first behavioral changes in canine cognitive dysfunction is a reduction in comfort behaviors. Sighing, leaning, settling close. The sigh is a health barometer. When it goes quiet, your dog is telling you something they have no other way to say. Note the change. Talk to your vet. Do not wait. This is what I mentioned at the beginning, the sigh that happens right before sleep, the one where they exhale, lower their head onto you, and let their eyes close. Dr. Gregory Burns at Emory University found, through fMRI imaging, that the combination of physical contact, auditory self-soothing, and owner proximity activates the same neural reward pathways as the most powerful social bonding moments in the canine brain. Nagasawa and colleagues at Azabu University took it further. The oxytocin peak during sustained quiet contact actually exceeds the peak during active play. That moment, the sigh, the head resting on your leg, the eyes drifting closed, is the closest your dog will ever come to saying, "I love you," out loud. They gave up vigilance. They gave up the instinct that tells them the world is dangerous. They chose you over every survival impulse in their body. That sigh is not small. That sigh is everything. That sigh you heard tonight, the one you almost did not notice, it was never just breathing. It was never just settling in. It was your dog saying the one thing they have been saying all along. You are my safe place. If this changed how you will hear that sound tonight, subscribe to Dognsight so you never miss what they are trying to tell you. And if your dog ever brings you their toy and drops it at your feet, they are not asking you to play. That story is next. The smallest sound in the room. The biggest meaning they will ever give you.